What we were talking about when you guys were looking at our lips, thank you for looking at our lips, was Zach's been doing nothing but working on his horror movie for like a month. So,
saying I've turned into the most boring person that I know because I have been doing nothing for the last year and a half except working on the same thing all day, every day, and I feel like I have nothing to talk about. Except I did finish the movie this last week. So that chapter is over.
Yeah.
And I will be able to have new experiences and new topics of conversation with people.
See, well, and here's the thing. Now, I understand where you're coming from because you've just been doing the same thing. And like I said, Whitest Kids was hours and hours of stuff every season. And, you edited that and directed that. But this is only 90 or 100 minutes, so you have watched the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, while we were muted, I was estimating that I've watched the movie somewhere between 40 and 60 times. I'd say. Probably.
And that's a lot. I mean, look.
Yeah.
I'm excited to
see
the movie.
Thank you, everyone, for the congrats. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I just don't want to watch anything that many times in a short amount of time. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Weird, though. It kind of, here's what's fucked up. This might say something about me, but like it appeals to my vanity. Like there's a weird kind of like masturbatory thing that's happening when I'm watching it where I'm like, first of all, I should say I'm like really proud of the movie. Like it like turned out, in my opinion, really, really well. I'm super excited about it. I can't wait for people to see it. So when I watch it, there's like kind of, I just kind of revel in look what I did is like, if I'm totally honest, is how I feel when I watch it.
Well,
and it's a good feeling. It's like,
that's great.
Yeah, it still gives me a little dopamine hit. Like when I was in a band, I used to like listen to my own band all the fucking time. It's like a weird ego thing. And I think that there's some Whitest Kids sketches that I like would watch a lot on YouTube. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know if that's, I don't know if every artist kind of does that if they're honest, or if I'm just like a total narcissist. I don't know.
I don't think. I don't know if everybody does it. I mean, I've done that even in the past couple of years when it's like a fun. When we would do a self-suck, or like if there was a Zucchini Boys moment that I liked or whatever, I'll go back and watch it once it hits YouTube. You know what I mean? And just kind of.
See, that I've never done. I've never, except for the very first Newsboys with Trevor, where I did listen to that. But that was more just to be like, do we sound like fucking idiots, or is this okay? It was more of a quality check thing.
Well, because
I haven't gone back and done any of the streams.
Yeah, never. Well, none of us really knew what we were doing at that point, so that makes sense. But I mean, sometimes there's like, for example, I think the last one I did it was Trevor's last self-suck, which is me, him, and Sam, and that was with the fat cat and everything, where I'm at my parents' house, and Trevor's like scream laughing at my parents' cat. Like that was so fucking funny. I watch that every once in a while, But but also it's funny that you're like, you spend so much time doing this that you're like, I don't really have anything to talk about, where to me it's like, you wrote and directed your own fucking horror movie, and it's coming out, and you like it, and people like it, and it's like actually going to get released, and so to me that's like, wow, that's so much, to talk about.
Yeah, yes. I guess it's like, I have something to talk about if I'm talking to someone like you who I don't talk to very often, but for the people that I see generally, like in my week to week, day to day, whatever, it's like those are the people where I've already told them everything. They already fucking know what I'm doing.
Right.
I don't have any new information.
There's no new information. Okay, yeah, I get that.
I feel like there's an AA meeting I go to every week, and like I just want to leave when it's over because I can't handle the like, what's up, man? What's new? It's like there's nothing. There's nothing new. I don't have anything new.
That's got to be hard because those meetings are about positivity, right? And like, it's got to be. Aren't they not? What are they about? No. Well, they're not. Okay, all right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't know what they're about.
No. What do you? It's funny. That's a funny thing to.
You know what? It's because I briefly was in Al-Anon, which is for people who have been affected by alcoholism, and that. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
I found that to be sickeningly positive. And you talk about fucked up shit, but like the whole thing is like, I don't know. I just feel. The things, the whole, I don't know, some of the things they told, kind of messages they send you with in Al-Anon didn't, I felt like it was like kind of, I don't know.
That's weird. So funny, because my experience with Al-Anon is like people. Okay, so I love talking about this kind of thing.
Right.
One of the, by the way, I do think maybe you want to turn your mic down a little, just a little.
Now they're saying I'm
mine is okay. I think yours might be high.
Quiet. Okay, cool.
My experience of like Al-Anon. So for anyone who doesn't know, Al-Anon is for people who live with or have grown up with alcoholics in their family, or I guess you could qualify if like you have your boss might be an alcoholic and you've been with them for 10 years or something like that.
If
you're affected by an alcoholic or an addict, you can qualify. And the traits that generally people who have parents who are alcoholics generally become pleasers. And they try and kind of twist into whatever shape is going to be the smoothest for the dynamic with the alcoholic. So if the alcoholic is like, usually a toxic narcissist, you'll just kind of feed them whatever they need to keep everything smooth and cool. And you won't like kick up a fuss. You have real boundary issues. You know what I mean? And that's like kind of one of the defining things is like, you will like forego your boundaries so that the alcoholic is like, not misbehaving.
Right.
And so in recovery, an Al-Anon person will generally have pretty hardcore boundaries as a result of like their progress. And so my experience of going into Al-Anon is a lot of times people are like not super outgoing and positive because they feel like I've grown to the point where I don't need to like extend myself, like I'm taking care of me. And that's actually like kind of a healthy thing.
Right.
Like they say like, if you feel guilty, you're probably doing something right. And that's like kind of fucked up. But I don't know. Anyway.
What do you mean, like if the person's affected starts feeling guilty because maybe they're kind of getting deeper into it instead of just doing the whole kind of keeping their boundaries up and
like if the person that you are like that you're kind of like in a toxic codependent relationship with, if they're expecting you to like forego your peace for their comfort and you stop doing that, they're going to kick up a fuss and you're going to probably, the first thing you're going to feel is guilty because you're like wired to do that. But that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. That means you're probably doing something right. That's kind of like what they're getting into.
I get that. So
Deep Boys, Timmy. Trevor and I used to do Deep Boys.
Right, no, I know about it. I know about it. And I knew that you and I would do this because that's who we are. That's who we both, you and I have both done a lot of inner tuning in the last maybe 5-10 years of our lives. You know what I mean?
So I feel like I've plateaued a little bit, but maybe. My mom is like this. My mom is like incapable of having chit chat. Like small talk is like it's just never on the table. And that's so the way I've kind of grown up is like I don't really have time for small talk. Like I want to get right into like, what was the biggest fight you had with your parents? Like I'd rather have that with a stranger. I'd rather talk about that than what's your biggest fear?
I don't care about your favorite Seinfeld. Yeah. How do you want to die?
Yeah. How do you want to die is a good one. Ooh, that's a great one. Timmy, how do you want to die?
Well, I used to do a stand-up bit about that, about I want to be chopped to pieces. How I used to really say this. I want to be chopped up in my sleep, like chopped to pieces in my sleep. And I was like, well, that's a horrible way to die when you think about it, because A, you're going to wake up. Like someone's chopping you into pieces. So I started... I don't actually know. Maybe that's not a good topic for us to talk about anymore. But
I think it is.
You think so? Okay. Well, I mean, the last 9 months have shown me how I don't want to die. But
how Trevor died?
Right.
Like
early
suddenly
and a
tragically?
Surprise to all involved, including yourself.
What did you say?
I said
what?
I said, I don't want to die early and a surprise to all involved, including yourself.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. I want to die. I mean, I'm genetically predisposed to hit like 95. So.
Whoa, badass.
I mean, seriously, my great-grandma that my daughter's named after hit 105. My grandma hit 95. One of my other grandpas hit 91, and I just think I've got that stout Midwestern Dust Bowl shit from my genetics that's just gonna,
That Dust Bowl really cleansed the herd there, right? Yeah. The weak did not persist.
Right. You know what? And this is aside to it, but that's how we do things. But so another thing we recently found out talking about the Dust Bowl is that during the Dust Bowl, the Public Works Administration that FDR started. did a bunch of educational videos, or not videos, but films that they would show at movie theaters. And they did one informing farmers about how if you built shelter belts, your crops would not be covered in dust. Because literally during the Dust Bowl, like there was dust blowing around and like covering crops, like when you're planting your stuff, and just like choking the life out of plants. And so they did a whole series, a whole film about building shelter belts, and it like played in theaters, like how the news used to. And we recently found out my grandpa's family was like the family they talked to in this shelter belt short film that like showed all over at newsreels all over the country.
The Hugh Williams were famous even before The Whitest Kids You Know. You guys were destined. Showbiz was in your blood.
Hey,
look at that.
the Casey family watermelon farm. And so you can see my great grandpa Jerry, who I attribute a lot of my grandpa Jerry, who I attribute a lot of my humor to. He's like 20 in that, super handsome, wearing overalls, riding a horse, and then later on eating watermelon. So, yeah, man. So how do you want to die?
Suddenly and painlessly.
Okay.
It's interesting. There's this Cormac McCarthy short called it's about a train. I can't remember what it's called. Somebody chat, what's that called? Samuel L. Jackson did like a dramatization of it with I think Tommy Lee Jones.
Yes. What the hell?
The 540 Express. It's not that.
Something train station. Something station, right?
Something I don't know. Anyway, this guy's going to commit suicide. He's going to step in front of a bullet train, and there's a passage where he's like, I know that the train moves at like this speed, and the neurons in your brain don't move as fast as the train. He's like, it's literally impossible for me to feel this. If I step in front of it and get whacked by this thing, like it will be painless. I remember being like, that's so interesting. Like, not 310 to Yuma, you son of a bitch. So I don't know. Anyway, that was interesting. I don't think suicide is in my future, but I hope it's something that sudden and just like out of the blue, just like done.
So what is sudden? Okay, so sudden has to be. I mean,
I wouldn't mind being assassinated in a public place. Okay. That's kind of cool. Like somebody comes up behind me with like a silencer, it's like 2 behind the ear.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Is I was gonna say they got to be a good shot though, because if you want it to be painless, it has to get the brain out of commission as fast as possible, right?
Yeah. I think the worst way to die would be like alone in a like an apartment by yourself, very old, very debilitated, ravaged by disease. over a long time. That's the worst.
Yeah, I know of someone who kind of died like that recently. So.
I'd rather be eaten to death by a pack of wild dogs than that.
See, that's another one, like my whole jokey one about getting cut to pieces in your sleep. Like, you're not gonna, it's not instantaneous. You're gonna feel your body being torn apart, And I feel like the last time I mentioned this was on another 2-person self-suck with Darren like a year ago. But have you ever seen Day of the Dead? The third George Romero zombie movie from like '84. It's the one where they teach zombies how to like talk and shoot a gun.
No.
Okay. So
is that the one? Send more cops?
No, that's Return of the Living Dead. That's a whole different series, and that one's kind of a comedy. Okay. So Day of the Dead, there's Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead in the Mall, classic, and then Day of the Dead, which is considered, it's not as great as those two, but it's still good. But the main thing about Day of the Dead is the special effects are fucking terrifying. Like, people getting ripped apart, and it's like Tom Savini shit, it's bad. But, like, one of the most horrifying horror effects that sticks in my brain all the time is this, like, soldier dude who's kind of an asshole, and I think he, like, even was, like, mistreating the women or something, so you love to see those guys get it. But so he's getting ripped apart by zombies, right? And you're seeing his guts come out and everything, but he starts screaming, and one of them grabs his voice box, or his throat, and, like, tears it. And I don't know who in the sound design or whatever had this idea, but they're a genius. So his scream changes pitches as he's like getting his voice box ripped. He's like, ah! And it starts sounding like this inhuman moan because his like larynx and voice box are getting like torn apart. And it's like, wow. It's like, I think about it all the time. It's so awful.
That's rad as fuck.
Sleep well, everybody. Yeah, dude.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like for someone to think about that, I love that kind of shit.
I've spent literally the last 2 weeks.
Sure.
Like, there's some extreme gore in my movie, and we've been going through and like building the sound to like extreme gore. And without getting too into spoiler territory, there's like pretty hardcore stuff happening to heads, and so like trial and error of like, how do we have this head coming apart? And like we've had this one scene I'm really excited about where like you can hear like blood vessels bubbling. Like it's like a spray and then like a little chortle and a bubble, and I'm just like, it's fun. It's fucking great. I love that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm just so excited that you got to make just a horror movie, and that it's just like it's a horror movie, and it's scary and it's gross, and I can't wait. I've read it, by the way, people. I haven't seen it, but I just know.
You read it? You read the whole script?
Yeah, you sent it to me.
I can't remember who I sent it to.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It was over a year ago that you sent it to me, but yeah. So, and I'm sure there's changes since then. But I know you changed the name, but since then.
No, I didn't. It's going to be called Barbarian.
No. I mean, I know you changed a name of a character, but.
Oh yeah. There was a character in the movie that was kind of loosely based on someone that we know. But
anyways, moving on. But yeah, but by the way, that's cool. That's called Barbarian, man. I think it's a cool name.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm really excited. At the last minute, they told me that the studio was going to change the title to something I didn't like, and anyway, it was a whole thing. But I'm really glad that it's Barbarian. It's cool.
Yeah,
and
very cool.
I don't know if I said this on the stream, but it's going to come out in theaters, wide release, August 12th, and so they're going to run a trailer in front of the Black Phone, I think, which comes out June 24th. I think they're going to run a trailer in front of Nope, Jordan's movie, in July. And so, yeah, it's going to be like a real
fucking
big movie in theaters.
Dude, if your movie comes to my theater in Watertown, South Dakota.
Yeah, I think it will, dude.
I'll suck your dick. No, well.
You're going to have to. Isn't that insane, though? Is that
so I can bring my daughter, my young daughter.
Dude, I just can't believe I went and made this thing in Bulgaria for like $4.5 million. It's like never supposed to get to this place.
Right. That's fantastic, man. So does that, so they have some faith in this thing then. And that's
it's pretty good.
That's fucking awesome, man. I'm stoked. That's so great. Because I was going to ask you, because it came out on Reddit that someone put on Reddit a few days ago that it's going to come out August 12th, and you commented being like, I didn't know they had announced it until I looked at our Reddit.
Yeah, exactly. I saw on the Reddit like Barbarian coming out, blah blah blah. I mean, I knew that's when it was going to come out. Like that wasn't like news to me, but I just didn't know it had been made public until I saw it on our Whitest Kids Reddit, which is awesome.
That's so funny. Real Michael Jackson says, "Can I mail you a director's beret?" I mean, technically, you've already directed the film, so you should have one, right?
Well, I don't feel like Miss March was like I meant you
directed this one though. You already directed it, so you should have the beret already.
Yeah.
What about Miss March though?
Nothing. It just doesn't. I don't feel like that's a movie. I feel like this is my first directorial debut.
Right. That was. You were young. You needed the work. Right. Is that what they say when
Trevor and I directed it together? It was based off a script somebody else wrote. Right. It was like not my first choice of things to do. It's not the kind of movie I would have made.
Right.
Normally,
this movie Barbarian is straight from Zack's dome. You know. Right.
Straight off the dome. Somebody said Zack is actually glowing about this movie. I guess so. That's fair.
Really happy,
I'll own it.
Yeah, he deserves it, man. You deserve it. So I am so stoked to see it. And God, I hope it comes.
Did Milchan produce your film? Yes, he did.
Did who?
Arnon Milchan, who created New Regency, which is the studio that did it. But the first movie he ever produced, this is so cool, was Brazil.
Oh, wow. That's fucking crazy.
Like, he just was like, I guess he met Terry Gilliam and was like, I'll do it. I'll fund it for you. And like, boom, just like made the movie. Pretty cool.
I've not seen it so long. It's great.
Yeah.
Someone says we can all pretend Miss March didn't happen. I don't know about that. Yes, I think it's okay. Well, Zach's into it. All right, I'm into it.
No, it's fine.
You know me.
I actually feel bad now. I feel like I can't talk shit on Miss March because Trevor's dead, and Trevor didn't talk shit on. You know what I mean? So out of respect for him, I won't.
He was self-conscious about it, though. You know,
he was, but he was much more like. He was just much more like detached from it, I think, where he was able to recognize like there's some things that work about it, there's some things that don't. Right. You know, it's not all bad. So, and that's fair. I just feel like I was kind of traumatized.
Yeah, it was a weird time when it came out, and you guys, it was interesting.
Thank you, everyone, for saying that it was good or not terrible. I'll take all of it. These
guys are great. It was funny too because like for years, and I'm sure Darren and Sam have experienced this too. You'd see people in the wild calling it a whitest kids movie, and you try to correct them without being an asshole about it. No, see,
You can do that. You can do that.
Like
Hey, whoa,
Trevor
wait.
thing.
No.
What? Yeah, exactly. Like,
No, that's like
see. Well, here's the
if
deal.
it was a whitest kids movie, it would have been so much better.
Right, and it would have been like the poop scene would have been. There would have been multiple poop scenes, basically, But
Yeah. What else, dude? What else was going on?
What else is going on? I had a rummage sale this week, and I sold my recliner.
Okay.
I'm getting another
one.
one.
Did you use it a lot?
Oh yes. That recliner carried me through COVID. I liked.
Why'd you sell it?
Because my upstairs neighbor lives by himself, and he has a good job, and they give him enough of per diem that he bought himself a second recliner, and he's like, well, I don't need it, so you want to have it? I'm like, sure, and I went up and tried it, and it's like a newer recliner. No one's like ever sat in it, really. And
see it.
It's like, no, I don't have it yet. He's not home, so I'm going to get it like in a couple days. I just sold the recliner like a few hours ago. Anyway, so I sat on this thing like a couple weeks ago. It's like memory foam or something, and I was instantly like, oh my God. Like a good chair, Because the one I had was nice, but it was like 20 years old. I haven't sat in a new recliner, like with new lazy technology,
Dude, it matters, man. It's like you can splurge on furniture because it's the kind of thing that if you spend the money and you get something really good, it'll last you the rest of your life, and then you're always sitting on something great. Like,
totally.
We bought a couch here that is like stupid expensive, but it is crazy comfortable. And I'll never buy another couch again.
Right.
Like even if I move, like that couch is coming with me forever. It looks good. It's the best. So
you make the new house match the couch. If that's it's like, oh, sorry, I won't get one. Welcome back to Couch Boys.
Couch Boys, talking about couches. Somebody said Sick Death Shirt. That band rips. I have been listening to this band constantly.
Which
lately.
band?
Death.
Something's happening to your camera.
Oh, I see it.
Something happened to you. Oh, now you're getting back now.
I'm a potato. How's my audio?
Now it's fine. It was getting all weird. Did a comet pass over Los Angeles? Because now your camera is slow. It's coming back. Maybe there was a comet. Did
I don't know.
Some sort of something death or death grips? What are they asking about? What were you going to talk about?
About my shirt, Death.
Oh, okay.
It's a band.
Oh,
that
Death, like the one from the 70s or the late 60s. That band?
No. There's a band from Detroit called Death, which is more like a hard rock. They're like four black dudes from Detroit who started a hard rock band. Then there's this band is from Florida, 80s death metal. Fucking awesome. Anyway.
That's great.
Yeah.
What else could we? Well, we were talking about possibly watching funny videos, and I think I might have a setup for that, but I think we'll figure that out in a little bit. Can
I talk about something?
Oh yeah, dude, please have a subject.
I think that I while we were having this conversation today, I had a very weird sensation that I had shit my pants just about 5 minutes ago. I was like sitting on my foot. Yeah, just now. I was sitting on my foot like this. My foot is like under my butt, and I had to fart. So I kind of like pushed it out, and it came out like in a weird sensation, and it smelled really strong.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, there's a really good chance that was like a real, like, I actually just shit. And I was just thinking, like, I was kind of talking, but like in the back of my mind, I was like, what do I do? Like, what do I do if I literally just shit my pants? I was like, I have to, my wife is going to be home in like a half an hour.
You got time?
I'd like to like erase all evidence before she gets home, but like I'm in the laundry room. Like I can't really like what would I do? How would I play this out?
Okay, so you got 30 minutes.
I'm on the stream.
First of all, so at this point talking to us right now, you still don't know for sure?
No, like I'm pretty sure because I just farted again and it felt like totally normal. So I'm like pretty sure. Like I don't really want to stick my hand down there and check, but like I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Let me tell you, younger Whitest Kids fans, aging is a fucking trip.
It's not about age.
It's not about age. It's just about not controlling your bowels. You don't think that's an aging thing? I don't know. Okay, so you got 30 minutes. You got poop inside of your underwear, and then it's smeared on your ass.
Yeah, that would be a fucking nightmare if I do
Yeah.
I can't shower and leave you here on the stream by yourself.
Right. So you could say I gotta go get something to eat. Or you could, I have the
Go get something to eat. You know what? I just got really hungry. Sorry, everybody.
I got the sloth button, which is I unhook a thing, I touch this thing on OBS and it covers the whole screen with the picture of a sloth. I do that. I use that. I just did it. I use that on Zucchini Boys sometimes, like if I walk off or something. So you could do that. You could create a distraction. Okay, so then you got to take your underwear out and you stick it into. Because I've recently taught, about 7 years ago.
I'm just gonna stand up and just take a little.
You know what? If I was a smart whitest kid, and if I knew how to really excite the fans, right now I'd just be reciting the dialogue you say to my character, and Timmy poops his pants. So you just sat there. You sat
at a desk and you shat yourself. That's all I remember from that.
But so then you hold on to the underwear and you flush it into the toilet, try and get that out, and then. If I were you, I'd
flush the underwear down the toilet?
No, but you hold on to it so the current is pulling on the underwear, trying to clean all the poop stuff out and the big chunks. You know what I mean? And then, in your case, throw the underwear away. Just throw it away, maybe even outside in the garbage.
That's what I would do, is I would grab a trash bag out of here. I would flip my camera down.
Right, just that, yep.
I would grab a garbage bag. I would put the underwear in it. I would seal that fucker up. Put it at the bottom of the trash. I don't think that's risky though, because I could smell.
And also, you can't hook up tonight, because if you still have poop smeared on your butt or there's still smells,
Yeah, that's off the table.
You got to be like, I'm going to bed.
I'm in a bad mood.
No sex. Don't touch my ass. Someone says Timmy has experience with this, and hey, fat guy from Poop Sketch, yeah. No, it's because I have a kid that I taught how to not poop herself.
I don't know if it would work to hold your underwear in the toilet and flush the toilet. I don't
She's
think
in her room and just said,
enough.
Dad!
Oh, really?
She heard me say that. I did, it's true. This carpet has stains on it. Anyways.
I just don't think that would suck the shit out of it. I don't think that would do anything.
It might, but you might. The thing is, if you're throwing it away, then you just take it all and just throw it away. Someone says, Lydia Petuni says, slip your pants off below camera. Say you'll be, slip your pants off below camera. Say you'll be right back. Toss in the washer. Wipe butt with pants. Slick. I don't get that part. If you're already leaving, just use toilet paper.
Wipe butt with pants is just a funny. That's just funny.
Pits. It'd be really funny to have that printed on a caution kind of sticker, post no, bills, whatever. Yeah. Take a shower, wash clothes, easy peasy. Well, okay, but then his wife comes home. Okay, you get in the shower with your clothes on, get the shower, get out. That's a good 15 minutes down probably. So now she'll be home soon. You're gonna be wet. And your clothes will be wet when she gets home. But she's got to ask what happened, right? But you have a dog you can blame things on, too.
Yeah, but the dog poo smells very distinct. It's very different than human poo. There's no way in the world I'd pull that off. Let me do some donuts real quick. Hold on and hang on. Donated 10. Thank you so much.
Yay! So sweet.
I just tried to get the stream onto a hotel TV and worried the lack of sound was him. Glad it's just dads of the internet. Glad to see you guys. Yep, just us.
Yeah,
just us.
But now we all sound good, right? Yeah, we should be fine. All right.
Bennett Spamerica donated 20. Thanks, bud. Said, hi, Timmy and Zack. Speaking of addiction, do you have any thoughts or feelings about Trevor's song, Gary? I haven't listened to that in a long time. I don't think I know it. We should look up the lyrics of that and read that out. That's a good idea. Will you do that? Will you pull the lyrics up?
Is that that's not the one about the internet guy?
I think so. I don't know. Yeah. Girl Dick is Best Dick donated 10. Said, enjoying the streamlined, hard-hitting, introspective Whitest Kids tonight. Like many in the UK, I first watched Whitest Kids in 240p YouTube videos in 0910. Yeah, I gotcha. Sadly, didn't see you were back making things until August last year, but I can't wait to see Mars. Thank you so much, Girl Dick. I appreciate that. Getting High with Dinosaurs donated $30. Says, thank you for the happy Saturday evening, boys. Thank you for being here and for $30.
Hell yeah.
Dave Frisch donated 10. Said, been way too long since I've been able to make a live stream, but since I last donated, I've had a great couple of months. I passed my check ride, officially making me a licensed pilot.
Wow.
Fucking congrats. Congratulate me, Zack, or I won't watch your movie. Congratulations. Awesome. I Distrust donated, said, Zack, your Shart situation reminds me of the finest cinema. No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan. Hulk, what's that smell? Man, dookie. I have not seen that.
I've always wanted
Principal
to see
Rolls
it.
donated 25. Said, so happy to see you guys and congrats on finishing your movie, Zack. Can't wait to see it. Thank you so much. And Hyphen Potamus in the City, one of my faves, says, I've been watching Wrecked and I love it. Zack, you totally stole Darren's sexy fawn performance for the scene when you were in the dress made of leaves to seduce some guards. I think you might be right.
Wow.
Yeah, I that rings a bell. I think it was like in an imagination kind of a sequence where I like wear a dress and I come out and I do a little dance kind of like Darren. Yeah. Probably. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I found the lyrics. So I think I've heard this, but should I read them out loud or how do we do this?
Yeah, read them.
Okay. I'll read it like a poem. Because, like, all right, real quick side, I've been reading The Lord of the Rings with my daughter, and there's lots of songs in the Lord of the Rings books. And I just talk about it like a poem, right? What am I supposed to do? Sing to my kid? Like, pretend I'm, like...
You got to sing him in a falsetto.
Like, oh, like, you know, like when he... Like that scene in one of the movies when he has to sing to that king. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I just read it like a poem. Okay, so... And I don't remember Trevor's song enough to know the tune anyway, so... I got a call from you somewhere north of 2 a.m. Wanted to see what I'm up to. They just let you out of jail again, and you found yourself a program that's helping you see things real clear. Finally got your life on the right track, and finally got that monkey off your back. Picking up the pieces of your life, repair the damage with your kid and wife. You'll take this one day at a time, and this time you'll persevere. Ooh, this must be the chorus. Ooh, I know that life is scary, and you think you found your way, but still I gotta say, I don't think you'll make it, Gary.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so I can keep going. It's really sad.
Keep going.
Okay. Oh, and so, make no mistake about it. I hope you're done with all your strife. Live a long and happy life, but I kind of sort of doubt it. You say you've given it a lot of thought. Maybe your story could help kids that are feeling low. Yeah, maybe, but probably not. But hey, whatever, man, you never know. You say you just want to give something back now that you've made it through and seen the worst. Maybe you shouldn't give your back a pat until you've made it through the weekend first. Okay, someone just quoted that, so I guess I understand. I understand that. Okay. You're just trying to occupy your days. The devil's workshop is an idle hand. Don't want to go back to your old ways. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome, man. You say that as you're getting on your feet, you need a place to stay for a month or so. You promise that you'll keep your room real neat. That's cool. If I hear anything, I'll let you know. Ooh, I know that life is scary and you think you found your way, but still I gotta say, I don't think you're gonna make it, Gary. Ooh, some lives are cautionary pulling for you to win this race, but I'm gonna keep my space. I don't think you'll make it, Gary.
That is like the darkest shit I think Trevor ever wrote.
It certainly sounds like it. And I mean, I'm not sure if that's inspired by a person or what. I mean, I feel like everybody knows somebody like that, especially when you get older, who just isn't. I mean, I know someone like that who just, like, you're an adult now and you still just keep, like, letting shit destroy you and making poor decisions. You know what I mean? And,
yeah.
And, you're on the phone with them like, yeah, this time I'm really doing it. And you're just like, cool, I gotta go. Like, yeah, been there. Wow. So I didn't know he wrote that song. I mean, I did not. I've listened to the album.
It's interesting because that song sounds to me just deeply cynical. Mm-hmm. And Trevor was cynical about so many things, but one thing he was not cynical about was like his friends. Right. You know what I mean? Like Trevor always saw the best in the people that he knew. He was cynical about like the government and corporations and institutions and maybe even mankind as a whole.
Definitely.
But on an individual level, he was like really would only see the best in people. Sometimes to me, like too much. We're like, there were people we knew where I was like, dude, that person sucks.
Yeah, you should not give them the time.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
he didn't see it. So it's so interesting that he would write a song like that.
And it makes me think, well, maybe it wasn't someone, or it could be someone he had a major falling out with, which I don't know who that would be, but also maybe like I don't know, maybe there was a family member or something somewhere that just was fucked up.
Maybe he's Gary in that song, maybe, and I'm not saying like, anything specific about him, but like maybe it's like, look, every person has demons that they want to fight and wonders if they're going to overcome them. So like maybe he just kind of transposed shit onto Gary about, it might not even be about like
right.
Trevor never went to jail,
right.
Anything, but like just I don't know.
Someone says in chat, I think it was a joke. I think it's a joke song. But what's the
what's
joke?
the joke?
I mean, here's the thing. If Trevor was telling a joke, he's telling a joke, and that guy could zero in like a fucking, smart bomb on a joke. So if he was telling a joke, I feel like we would know it. You know what I mean?
I just want to hear what the music sounds like.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm going to pull it up.
It could be, you know what? It could be something he wrote specifically for a video. And maybe the video's funny. I don't know.
Okay, so it's like a country deal.
Carl Alden stream says, come to think of it, he did talk about this on a stream, and I believe it is a joke. But, I mean...
What's the joke?
Yeah, if I hear anything, I'll let you know line is hilarious. Yeah, and I agree with that, because that's something you say to those people,
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, really looking for a job. It's like, okay,
Wow. Interesting. Fuck, I wish I could ask him about it.
I know, shit. Put it on the list. There's a few people I've known like that, and one of them for years would be like, "Oh, you're getting sober, okay, cool, whatever." But the last time I saw them, I was at the place where I go to therapy. Also has my pharmacy, and I was filling out paperwork to renew my prescription to Vyvanse, which is a controlled substance drug for ADHD, right? And this guy now works there and has an office and is in administration and has been sober for over a year or two. I forget how long. And so I was like, wow. So now he's talking to me while I'm signing up for speed. So it's like, all right, dude, you really did it. Good job, So I was like, I gotta go pick up my literal drugs. So but you
down the PCP.
Yeah, you don't yeah, exactly. You don't come across that too often. So yeah, I wonder and I guess I'll go listen to it and maybe watch the video or whatever.
Somebody says ask Amy. That's a good idea, actually. I will ask Amy.
Yeah, she probably knows.
She'll know.
Yeah,
she'll definitely know. Trevor was always very he used Amy a lot as a bounce board for his ideas. So there's no chance that he didn't talk to Amy about that song.
Right, that's a good point. Because Amy's a good sounding board. She knows entertainment, but she's also not nearly as stupid as Trevor's friends like us. So, she had a good...
She's definitely smarter than us. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, because we're just, that was really funny, man. She'll be like, that's stupid, if it was stupid.
Yeah.
But, it's important. Mr.
Slipman's in the tub says, on stream, he always made her seem uninterested. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's true.
I don't know. I think he probably told a lot of stories about her, him doing something dumb and her being like, oh my God, which is obviously, but, that doesn't mean she's uninterested. That means she was responding correctly to Trevor's tomfoolery.
Exactly. Somebody says she and Trevor have the same kind of humor. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. But she was also if you were in the room, when I lived in the same neighborhood as them, and we would, for example, go out to a bar and come back late, and Trevor would eat just a can of Chef Boyardee pasta, and Amy and I are just watching in horror, just disbelief, how are you fucking real, so she was someone that she was right there on board with the rest of us, just how is this dude but at the same time she got him better than anybody else did, so
Probably Trouble says, I expect Trevor's biggest fear was being boring. I don't think so.
I don't know about biggest fear. I think he I
just don't think he could have been boring if he'd tried. Right. I just think that wasn't happening.
But he also in some ways he sometimes would express I don't know if fear is the right word, but maybe anxieties or just kind of concerns about giving up on things as you get older, he once told me he feels like when people have bachelor parties before they get married that it's because you're leaving who you are behind or something, that he didn't like that part of it. And I was like, I don't know, I think it's just more of an excuse to be stupid, right? But I think he sometimes I don't know. Sometimes he felt to me like someone who didn't want to be too normal. Like, he didn't like going out to dinner with people, Like, for
Yeah,
example.
he hated going out to dinner.
He would also tell me, like, when we were, like, 22, he's like, I already have enough friends. I don't want to meet more people,
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And you know what? I don't know if every life is like this or not, but do you feel like doing comedy, like you just met, like imagine all the times, all the shows we went to, all the different comedians and stuff, like I feel like I met so many fucking people for like 10 or 15 years. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like I have so many friends, I've met so many people. I just mean like, I feel like I've just like met so many people that I don't, like my brain's full of people. And it has been for years already. Does that make sense?
Does, but it's funny because I feel like actually in the last few years, maybe since COVID, my social kind of bubble has shrunk a lot. And I feel like just this year, I'm starting to not like that. And I'm actually this year I've been like, and most of it is because I've just been working on the movie so much, so I just haven't been doing anything. But I'm actually feeling like I need to be more social. I need to do more stuff with people. I'm feeling like a little bit of the pinch for the first time, maybe in my life, where I'm like, oh, like I'm dissatisfied with my social situation right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I am.
Yeah. Because usually I'm kind of like keeping shit at bay, and now I'm like, oh, like I've kind of like sealed myself off too much.
Yeah, it's totally possible. Sometimes I wonder if I have it or not. I had a funny party experience recently. So somebody at my workplace, I have several workplaces, somebody retired. And we were going to throw her a surprise retirement party. And her husband was in on it, and we were going to do it. And this is like the first time I've been to a party since COVID, right? But so we kept the secret so well. And this lady, she's like in her 60s, but she was still retiring. Like, they're doing well enough, she can retire. But they like to party. The people at my job like to party, except for me, pretty much. So she didn't know we were throwing her a party, so she hired a party bus to pick people up and go bar hopping, right? And so what we did is we planned the party bus to end at the real surprise party, and there would be food, and everyone from her life is there, like 100 people, and tons of drinks and food and whatever, right? She had no idea.
What city is this in?
Huh?
What city is this in?
This is in Watertown.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like happened like 2 weeks ago. So planning to do that, and bar hopping means we were going to bars like out in the countryside, like it's kind of fun.
How many bars are in Watertown?
There's actually a good amount because the Midwest is depressing. Yeah, so. Dude, at my insurance shop, I was between two bars, and there was two bars behind us. Like, it was all bars. Like, we would regularly have, like, puke on the sidewalk, like, in the summer, or just, like, you know how drunks will just, like, leave an empty drink outside, like, near the bar? There was those outside my office all the time.
How many people live in Watertown?
22,000, something like that. So.
Okay.
But, like, in the area... I would not say urban area, but the listing area, let's call it. There's like 60,000 people around, in the like 50-mile radius. Anyways, so we go to these different bars, and then her idea was like, because she had no idea we're throwing her this party, so she told her husband, she's like, well, after the party bus, we're gonna we'll bring everyone to our house and we'll feed them. So order a whole bunch of like sloppy Joe, just like barbecue for sandwiches. And he's like, okay, because like at the same time, her husband was organizing this fucking huge party with a huge spread and all this booze and shit. And she had no idea, and so just
so he just lied, just say on it.
Yeah, well, so he did it. So he like got all this bar. So then we got her to the party. She was so surprised, had a lot of fun. But then she still had a couple days left at work, so she's like, all right, we have all this barbecue. So the guy, kudos to her husband, because he fucking went balls out to surprise her. And I told this story in Zucchini Boys too, because I was making sloppy Joe, but this is why, because it got me in the mood for sloppy Joe. But so it's just funny to me to like the depths he went to. It's like, okay, I'll order a second party worth of food just to fucking surprise you. That's
where did this story come from, Timmy?
Because you said social. I don't know. That's how things go up here. It's like, grab it, wrestle to the ground, beat the death out of it. That's what happens.
Gotcha.
Okay,
all right.
so sorry.
I am going to close my thing. Hey, I'm not going to. I just got to check my situation here. So just.
All right. So are you still going to talk? You going to give us live commentary?
I'm a little nervous. I got 10 minutes before.
Oh my God. I really want. Yeah, no, we're keeping the audio. Octofuzz, let's keep the audio. You fucking right, we're keeping the audio. This is gold. I want to hear his wife come home, be like, "What? What are you doing? What is that?" Ah! All right, you're back already.
I'm all good.
You're fine.
Although I got freaked out because I kind of like pulled my hands down and I realized I have like another camera over here. I was like, no, there's no possible. I'm not. Yeah, it's all good.
Oh my god! Just another little window where Zack's just like pantsless like chicken and
like,
shit.
Yeah.
Just
oh, good.
digging
God.
around.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
Oh
that's one of the more embarrassing things that could happen. Like, yeah, what if on stream, I'm like, I just get up, I think my camera's down, I pull my pants down so my dick and balls are out, and I'm like, no, I'm just like, oh, I think I'm okay. Oh.
Well, you
like,
asked me on
the most embarrassing thing you could
There was a self-suck a little while ago where you were like, Timmy, if you would close your camera and then like completely, what you said, like completely get naked with the camera in front of you and then put it back on, would you, you asked me like, would you, be comfortable doing that? I'm like, I don't think I would. And then we got got us onto some deeper topic. I can't remember.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Like, you're safe, but you don't feel safe. No. It's kind of like, I went to New York recently.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to this like there's this new building that's like, it's like the size of the Twin Towers, but it's like up in Midtown. It's like fucking huge. And they have this platform that comes out the side of it that you can like pay $60 and like go up to. And you basically have like a view of everything. You're like higher than everything else. And the ground on this platform is a plexi floor. And I'm going to show you guys.
Someone says the edge. Is that what it's called? The edge?
Yeah, I think it's called the edge. Yeah. And see if I can find it.
Hold on. Someone says, in quotes, like it's a headline, Barbarian director Zack Kreger shits his pants on stream and then exposes his dick and balls.
Imagine.
What a great promotion for... Yeah, they just, like, decided to put all their strength behind your film, and then you go on the internet and just, like, cover yourself in your shit and
like,
dick.
Exposing myself and then talking about it. Can you see this?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, look at that. So is that you? That's you walking?
Yeah, those are
So what was in your mind when that was happening?
Well, it was funny because I tried to do it like normal and I got vertigo. But then when I took the phone out and started filming and I was just looking at the phone, I could totally do it.
Okay.
So it's like as long as I was like looking at the screen, it was like nothing. But if I put the phone in my pocket and just did it, I would have gotten like freaked out.
Interesting. So that's like the opposite. I feel like that's the opposite of when you see someone at a concert filming it on their camera. You know what I mean? You're like, you're not experiencing it,
Yeah.
But this is the opposite where you're like using it to get through it. I don't think I'm afraid of heights really, but just, the trusting of the plexiglass, I don't know.
I didn't think I was afraid of heights until Bulgaria. And we were shooting this one scene on this water tower that's like very tall. And it had this like metal spiral staircase that wraps around the edge of it to get up to the roof. You just got to walk up it. It's one of those things where it's just like a metal staircase. So in between every step is like nothing, it's just like stuck to the wall and it goes fucking high. And I got like halfway up and like my body just like seized. I just like couldn't, I physically couldn't get myself to keep moving. I was like so scared, but like my crew was like going up ahead of me. And I had this thing where I was like, I'm the director. Like I cannot like puss out here. And I did. I like went down to the ground. I was like, fuck. And I was like, I can't ask anyone else to go up there if I'm not willing to go up there. So I had to like fucking knuckle down and like baby step my baby walk up to the top. And then once I was up there, I was like kind of my nerves settled. But like, dude, I have major is it vertigo? Is that fear of heights or is that something else?
Vertigo, I think, sort of. Or, well, fear of heights is acrophobia, right? That's the technical phobia.
That sounds right.
Vertigo is an actual medical condition where you just get dizzy. Like, people whose moms or whatever, just different people have it. That character in Arrested Development had it. But, I don't know if I have that so much, but I mean, you know what it is? I feel like, maybe this happens to you too, I feel like because I have a good imagination, and so it's easy for me to jump, and I'm also like kind of, I don't know if cynical or whatever, but like, so it's easy for me to imagine the worst scenario in situations like that, Like about 10 years ago, a little more, I very briefly worked at a factory. And in this factory job, we were sanding like this primer paint off of the giant metal cabs of tractors before they go get the real paint on, right? So when you're done for the day, you're covered in this shitty paint dust. And there's this like very strong, very concentrated air hose they use for different things. And some guys would clean themselves with that. And that's not what it was for. Like I don't even know if you were supposed to use the air hose, but some people would do that. And this one girl, she probably didn't have any fucking idea what she was talking about.
Let me guess, she blew her eardrum out.
No, she just wouldn't that be cool? She said no. Here's the thing: this is just how easy it is to get in my brain and like make me terrified. So she just says, if you have a big open sore, watch out with that because then it'll get an air bubble in your vein and die. And so like I never did it. Because I was worried about that. But if you think about it,
remember that there was always that thing of like when you get an IV or you get a shot, if there's any bubble that goes in there, it'll go up to your brain and kill you. And I was so terrified of that. And then I found out like that's not fucking true.
I'm sure that's not true. And
bubbles go in there all the fucking time.
Right. And but so I just went home dirty. And I'll probably develop some kind of bizarre lung cancer from being covered in these weird paint chips. But,
yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Whatever, man. Hey, someone says, Zack,
my buddy Sam, not
Yes.
Sam Brown, but a different buddy.
Yes.
Oh, what were you going to say?
No, someone's just asking that, I know you shot some of the movie in Detroit. Is that where it's meant to take place overall?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if that's okay to say or not, so, okay.
Yeah, it's okay. We shot it in this neighborhood called Brightmoor, which is one of the famous, the most ruined part of Detroit.
Oh.
Yeah. It's pretty insane. It was crazy. So my buddy Sam, not Sam Brown, different Sam, is coming over tonight and we're just going to watch a movie. Mm-hmm. What should we watch? What's the last great movie you saw? I was thinking about. I've never seen Top Gun, the original. I've never seen Escape from New York all the way through. I've seen a lot of clips of it. I've never seen the whole thing.
I think that's a good watch. Well, Top Gun's a good watch with buddies movie too. But
you know what I use now? I use this app, Just Watch. Do you guys know about this?
Yeah, I fucking love Just Watch.
I fucking love that app, dude.
It's incredible.
And I keep like a big watch list on that thing.
It's Just Watch you can search for films across all the streaming services. What I do is I'd logged in and make a free account, and then you can pick out which streaming services you use, and then you can search across any. That way, if a movie you're looking for isn't on yours, you can be like, oh, maybe I should do a free trial of that just to watch this. But also, for the ones that you have selected as yours, every day you can hit new, click new, and it shows you here's what dropped on your streaming services today.
Oh, that's cool. Dude,
Did you know that? Yeah.
I did not know that. All right, people are saying Top Gun sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun
People
to watch.
are telling me to watch Morbius. Go fuck yourself. I would rather go to the dentist.
Honestly, Escape from New York, like two dudes hanging out. If you haven't seen Escape from New York, it's a great John Carpenter movie. It's an iconic Kurt Russell role. Isaac Hayes is in it. It's...
You know what else I've never seen is Assault on Precinct 13.
I just watched that for the first time like a couple months ago. The original, it's great.
Is it great?
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, it's like it's like a low budget. John Carpenter used to say he wrote all of his films like kind of he's very obsessed with westerns, and so everything's kind of a western. Assault on Precinct is very westerny, where it's these guys stuck in this precinct while it's getting attacked by all these gang members. It's one of those movies, kind of like Green Room, where it like treats gang members like zombies.
I love Green Room.
I love Green Room too.
VFW
is another movie where they treat crazy, drugged up, like gang guys or Nazis or whatever as like monsters, But
Ron Gina is saying, by the way, what up, Ron Gina?
Yeah.
He's saying Escape from New York is also the inspiration for Metal Gear Solid.
That makes
Snake.
sense.
Oh yeah,
Snake.
He's got an eye patch. His name is Snake.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Snake! That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah, dude, John Carpenter. I mean, fucking A, dude. I got a vinyl recently of he and his son and another guy did a band. They kind of became a band and went on tour and just played John Carpenter's scores. He wrote some original compositions too, but they just played his scores and it's like a record.
Yeah, dude, I listen to his music like recreationally. He has like albums that are just like compositions he's done that are
I should do that.
In fact,
I should get that.
I almost used this guy Daniel Davies as the composer for my movie, who scores all his like later stuff with him. He's like his kind of like composing partner. He's out here in LA. He's Ray Davies' son.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Which is kind of fun. But didn't work out schedule-wise on this, but like we talked about it.
You know, I've seen a few people ask, and we just didn't get to it, but they're asking about the soundtrack for your movie. So did you curate that, or is it a score, or what's going on?
I did. I curated it. So it's so funny. There's this song that I used 3 times in the movie that I'd found by this, like, I think she's like a British woman. Anyway, her name is A001. She's on Spotify. The song is called Necro, and I fucking love it.
Cool.
And so I was listening to it when I was writing, and then you have to make like kind of a proof of concept. Like you edit it's called a rip reel, where you edit clips of other movies and you kind of edit them into like a fake trailer for your movie. You know, this is what you send out to try and get funding. So people are like, oh, this could, blah, blah, blah. I use it for that. And then I put it in the movie. But she's this woman in England who's like, basically, like, I got to think, like, she probably has to have some other job. I don't think she's like a professional musician at all. And then, like, we found her and I think we're going to put her in the trailer. We used her song 3 times in the movie.
Oh,
it's going to, I don't know. But, anyway, we used a Donovan song.
Hell
we
yeah.
used.
Someone's asking, is there any Bjork in the soundtrack?
Was that?
Any Bjork tracks?
No Bjork. No Bjork.
It's all so quiet. What if you made
Who's
a
your
horror
favorite
movie?
film composer?
Favorite what?
Film composer.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, Carpenter's way, way, way up there. Well, shit, man. Ennio Morricone. Gotta be. Yeah. I mean, I watch a lot of spaghetti westerns, and you know what? So, like, Tarantino uses Ennio stuff from old westerns in a lot of his movies, and there was a few that he uses. I can't remember which films. One's from Kill Bill 2, another from something else.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's a few pieces that I found out were from one movie that I'd never seen, and it's a spaghetti western with Lee Van Cleef, and so I tracked it down. It's called The Big Gun Down, and like the movie is pretty good, but yeah, the score is incredible because there's the pieces that Tarantino and other people have used for their films, but then there's the rest of it, and it all rules, and it's great. I mean, that guy knew what to do. I'm trying to think of more modern people. The guy that did the Fury Road sound score is great. Junkie XL, but then he also has a normal name. It's like Dave Smith, aka Junkie XL.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But that score's great. I mean,
it's good.
Fury Road, there's some parts of it where it's like a gunfight, and the combination of the violence and the score and just kind of the meanings. Like I cried at a gunfighting scene in Fury Road. You know what I mean? So I like.
I just read a book about the making of Fury Road that just came out. It came out like 2 weeks ago. I devoured it. I am convinced, and I mean this. It's the best action movie ever made. I really think so. I don't think there's any other action movie that even holds a candle. It's like you watch that, you're watching a miracle. Yeah. And the fact that George Miller was 70 years old when he shot that movie. And it's like the greatest thing ever. It's the most like joyful, energetic punk rock miracle of a movie, dude. I could watch it every night and I would not get bored of it.
It's I recently started showing my daughter like R-rated movies, but I'm like, I'm going to show you cool ones because I don't know if you remember this, Zach, but maybe before she was even born, I talked about how I eventually want to show her R-rated movies, and at the time I said The Godfather. You were like, well, no, The Godfather is boring for a kid. I was like, oh,
for a kid.
Yeah. Because think about it. You're like 10 or 11, first R-rated movie. It's like these guys are just sitting around kind of like making decisions. So I showed her The Matrix, and she was like, this is great. But The Matrix is not super R-rated. But then we watched Fury Road, and we talk about it all the time. And I'm like, I honestly could watch that. I agree. I could watch it every day. They just started shooting Furiosa.
Check out the YouTube comments for Necro. Did everyone just go and do something bad?
Oh, God.
Guys, please don't.
Be nice. But yeah, they just started shooting Furiosa, which is a prequel. But it's George Miller, so yeah. But yeah, man, that movie, yeah, it really is a miracle. What are the comments? Are they okay?
Very nice. Okay. They're all talking about it's all barbarian stuff.
God.
All right, well, it is what it is. I got no problem with that.
No Country for Old Men is an R-rated film I could watch 24/7. Yeah, that film's insanely rewatchable. Yeah.
No Country for Old Men is also fucking. Oh, what a masterpiece.
Yeah. That's yeah. I watched all the Coen Brothers movies earlier this year, and that was one I was always looking forward to.
Just rewatched A Serious Man last week, and dude, that is like, is that their best movie?
A Serious Man.
That movie's amazing.
It's really good. I'm always gonna be a Fargo guy. It's gonna be hard to rip that away from me, but
Fargo, A Serious Man, and No Country.
Yeah,
I feel
those are
like
all
are
great.
Just kind of.
Yeah, those guys are so fucking good. Because Raising Arizona is incredible. It's a comedy, but man, that movie is.
Big Lebowski. I mean, dude, they've made so many movies that are like maybe have been my favorite movie.
Absolutely.
Like Raising Arizona. I remember seeing that the first time I saw that. I was like, I want to make movies. Like it just got me. I was like, dude, this is what I want to do with my life.
You talk about good scores, Carter Burwell. That's a
Carter Burwell. Dude, I used him in The Temp for my movie.
Did you? Cool.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Barton Rink is underrated as fuck. Hard to agree. That's
who? Oh, Barton Fink
is underrated. And someone says
Barton Fink is interesting. What do you think Barton Fink is about?
I don't know, but I love watching it.
People say it's about the rise of fascism. I don't really think that's true. I think that's too easy.
It's definitely about creativity, I think. And it's definitely about, like, obsession, and trying, like, he's kind of, I think in some ways there's something in there about trying to be creative while also trying to keep your ego in check, maybe, sort of thing, and, like, I don't know, because,
I kind of think that I kind of suspect, and I could be totally wrong, but I kind of suspect that Barton Fink for them was just a pure exercise in, like, kind of form over function. Like, kind of just like, I think they wrote it like stream of consciousness. They were like, let's just thread cool scenes together and let it be. I don't know if there was a grand design.
Yeah, there might not have been. It's like when David Lynch is famous for that, and he's got some great quotes too where. I can't remember what exactly he was talking about, but there's a clip I've seen from an interview where he says, I forget what movie, but he says something about like, well, yeah, and it's kind of about how we approach God or something like that about God. And someone goes, can you expand on that? And he goes, no.
Yeah, right. Which is kind of the only right answer.
Absolutely, man. And I think. One thing, as someone, you know me, that I grew up in a very nerdy pop culture, obsessed with Star Wars and Marvel and stuff, and where we've gotten with all that is, it's hard to deal with sometimes. But I think the worst part of all that is, and I just said, they're making Furiosa, and it's a prequel to Fury Road, but George Miller's doing it. For example, that's probably good, but I like the prequel thing and needing to know, like. The idea that audience and fans of things need to know everything about the characters drives me crazy. Like
Furiosa though. Yeah, he wanted to make that before he wanted to make Fury Road. Like,
really? Okay.
He's always wanted to make Furiosa. Okay. It's a big part of the canon,
right?
Like for him. So this is not a money grab.
No. Well, no, it never is with him because it takes him fucking forever to make everything. It's already been 7 years since Fury Road came out. So like, and it's got Hemsworth, who I think is fantastic. I love Chris Hemsworth, and I forget who's playing Furiosa, but she's great too. God,
it's Anya Taylor-Joy.
It's from The Northman, right, and from a bunch of other stuff, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's not really even an example, but I lost my train of thought. But basically, what I'm getting at is like I don't need stuff explained, and like that's why I can watch Twin Peaks and just enjoy it, and like I don't care that the ending that I don't think I'll really ever understand the ending of Twin Peaks season 3. That's fine, like it's cool to watch, and to me it's cool to like like if I'm watching with someone, hey, what do you think this is about? I don't know, or just by myself, like thinking about like wonder how the fuck they wrote that,
If somebody could tell me like exactly and definitively what Mulholland Drive was really about, it would diminish Mulholland Drive.
Absolutely.
To me.
Because there's something about dreams, there's something about Hollywood, but I don't really know,
Yeah.
And then some of it, what's so brilliant about that is like some of that was supposed to be the pilot for like his next Twin Peaks, like another crazy TV show. And like, so when the guy goes behind the diner and there's a little man in the bag, or there's an evil hobo guy with the bag or whatever, and there's a little people later on, like there's no, like, he's just taking scenes from something he shot and putting it in this to just put it in there, you know?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yeah. Do you know who plays that hobo?
Yeah, isn't it a lady? No.
It's the woman who plays the nun.
In Mulholland Drive?
No. Yeah, in Mulholland Drive, the woman.
The nun. Okay. Whoa.
She's the nun.
Okay. I haven't seen any of those, the Conjuring verse. I haven't seen those movies, but.
Yeah.
Did you see Malignant?
I did.
What did you think about it?
I mean, okay, so the first 20 minutes, I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, what happened?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's so, like, cheap and lame.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then when the movie ended, I was like, I'm so glad that movie existed. That was so insane.
Yes.
That, like, I'm just glad that it got made.
Yeah, right.
I like it. I like it a lot. I don't necessarily think it's like a work of genius or important.
No, but there are parts of it that are genius, you know?
Yeah.
Like that shot. That shot is like, you're like, what is this movie that's like... you know, it's like,
I don't know what shot you're referring to.
The shot where they reveal what's really going on.
Oh, okay.
The flashback
I don't remember
shot
it.
Where it's like,
I don't remember.
What? Okay.
But I obviously remember the twist. I just don't remember the visual moment that it happened.
Well, and that's what there's some brilliance in it, because, you know, I love long takes, I love one shots and not too much editing, and so that's just a beautiful way to, like, use special effects to be like, here's what the movie's really about, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And
what are some of your favorite long takes?
Oh, God.
You know what jumps to mind? Jaws. Jaws has one of the best ever, where it's the camera's mounted on the ferry, and they get on the ferry and they're having like an exposition thing, and the ferry is moving, so you're getting like this whole landscape sliding through the frame, and it's like a 6-minute shot, but it's like it's really incredible.
God, I just saw a really good one the other day, and you know what's funny is I don't even know what I watched with my daughter where I originally mentioned this. True. But she always she'll notice that now whenever we watch anything. She's like, "That did you see how long that was before they cut?" And I'm so proud as like a film nerd parent that she's like watching for long takes. But for me, you know, my mind goes to martial arts films. There's a great shot in the Tony Jaa Muay Thai movie, The Protector, where he goes, the camera follows him up the stairs. There's like a spiral staircase in this.
I've seen that one.
Okay, and then
amazing.
There's that amazing shot where he goes into a room. Camera follows him in the room along with some bad guys. Like the camera, like Tony Jaa runs into this room. Camera follows him a lot, like over the shoulder of some bad guys. Right? The bad guys get in. Where's Tony Jaa? Camera turns around. He's fucking balancing on the door jamb and then just jumps down and kills everybody. It's like, holy shit, you know? It's great. You know?
That's great.
Like what
you know what I didn't like? Here's one that everybody loves that I don't think is good is Old Boy.
Yeah, I've only seen that movie
once. The hallway, that profile shot where he's like beating up 30 dudes. You know, it's just it's fucking kind of choreographed, and it feels more like a dance than a fight scene, and I don't like it. Like I think that somebody said Children of Men in the comments. That is dope. Like Inarritu, like The Revenant, and like that. Those are long choreographed shots, but it feels dangerous. Like in The Revenant, when those arrows are flying, it's like that's fucking scary. I thought that was great.
I want to check that out.
You haven't seen The Revenant?
No, I know. I don't know. You know what? It pissed me off how pretentious that director was at award shows and in interviews after that, and I was like, fuck that guy.
Why? What did he say?
He was just, I can't remember exactly, because of course I bring stuff up and then I can't remember things. But he was basically like talking shit. Somebody tried to tell him, like, someone referred to his film as in a certain genre, and he was like pissing on genre movies and stuff like that. It's just like,
He's pissing on genre movies?
Yeah, he was saying something like that. It's like, well, dude, I mean, he kind of took genre movies and made them into things, and also like genre movies are kind of everything, so you know, whatever. But I mean, but I should still see that. But yeah, that sounds like an awesome shot. And I'm trying to think of some. The Old Boy thing to me, it's like I've seen it once, and yeah, there's some pretty shocking, crazy stuff in that. When Trailer Boys did a martial arts night, I saw people submit that more than one as a trailer for martial arts. I'm like, Old Boy? You know, it's like one scene. I don't know about that, you know, but I'm trying to think. I feel like there's...
Yeah, Kubrick in Paths of Glory, the trench shot.
That's the one Kubrick I haven't seen yet. Yeah, I need to do that. You know what?
Have you seen Killer's Kiss?
Killer's Kiss? No, I've seen The Killers.
And have you seen Fear and Desire?
No, those older ones I haven't seen. I should get
You
on it.
got a lot of fucking catching up to do. Man.
Yeah, I don't know why I said
Killing?
only. I think I meant one of the only ones. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what's another great long shot is the first Halloween, the very first shot of the original Halloween. The boy, you know, going up, seeing his sister, and then it comes out, and he's like just standing there with the bloody knife, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of John Carpenter.
You know what's really funny about that moment when he's standing there with a bloody knife? Is the parents like rip his mask off, and he's like there, he's got a bloody knife, and there's like screaming or something. And the body language of the mom. Can you pull that up? Can you pull that up and show people on YouTube? Look at the mom's body language. It's ridiculous.
I'm guessing it's...
I don't even know what to search for. Halloween
1978 opening. I got it. Okay, so... Let me see this. The very end.
Michael?
As the camera pulls back...
Yep, okay, here we go. All right, so...
like, the mom is like... It's so funny to me.
So I'm going to just throw this on over us, just so the fans know what's going on, so don't freak out, and you'll still be able to hear us. Let me see if I got it. Is it this?
McTurdburglar donated $5. Says, pee, poo, poo. Should I get pizza or Taco Bell for dinner?
Pizza!
Come on, buddy.
Okay, here we go. Now, Zach, you won't be able to see it, but I'm playing it right now.
Okay. Oh, I can actually see it. I can see what you're playing. Now look at the mom. She's on the right.
Ah, why did it cut? Was that it? No, that's not it.
No, it goes way back. It goes way back.
Well,
don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's not. She's basically just like, her attitude is like, oh, and it's funny.
Weird.
It's not that funny. Let's move on.
Well, you know, probably cheap acting or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you try to do any show-offy camera stuff in your movie?
I do a little bit.
Cool.
I do. But it's always kind of for a purpose.
Yeah,
but I do. I copy. There's this Austrian movie called Angst from the 80s. Have you seen that?
I've never seen it, but I know about it.
I ripped that off pretty hardcore. I ripped off some Gus Van Sant from Elephant. And have you seen the original Elephant, the Irish Elephant from the 80s?
No.
Fucking amazing, dude. So I kind of ripped that off too. What else? I rip off a lot. I rip off Sam Raimi.
Can't you call it an homage or a tribute?
Yeah. I don't feel bad. It's not.
Right.
I don't have a problem with it.
Because I was telling my daughter about that. What were we talking about? I can't remember, but kind of a tribute to different things. But you know what's weird? Okay, so here's a weird movie watching story. So last week, South Dakota and the Midwest has had a lot of big thunderstorms and tornadoes lately. And so last weekend, my daughter and I went to The Bad Guys, which is an animated film, talking animals and stuff. And you know, the movie's almost, and I knew that thunderstorm stuff was coming because I do work a little bit, weather's involved in my job, so I have a really good weather app on my phone, and I'm like, well, there's some systems coming, but we'll be okay. Plus, we're going to a movie. A movie theater is actually pretty safe in a tornado because it's like where you're supposed to be in a tornado. It's a windowless room, you know, it's like, should be
very tall ceilings. I mean,
yeah, tall ceilings, but also like you're not getting sucked out a window. There's not a window there, you know. You're probably okay.
People get sucked out of windows. In tornadoes?
Or because having open spaces is like for the tornado. That's kind of how it like gets a hold of it and rips the roof off. You know what I mean? So, and it's a big sturdy building is the point. So we figured it'd be okay. So we just went and watched the movie, and then we could hear the rain got so hard we could hear it over the movie, like hitting the building and the hail and stuff. And then the movie stopped. So we were only about 15 minutes from the end. And I'd look at my phone. I'm like, well, I think we're okay. My daughter's getting a little scared. I said, okay, sit tight. I'm going to take advantage of this moment to go to the bathroom and come back because I think we'll be fine. So I come back. On my way back, people are pouring out of all the theaters into the hallway. I get back. My daughter's terrified. And I'm like, what's going on? And she said, well, the manager just came and said there's a tornado coming and to go get in the hallway. And I was worried because you weren't here. And I was like, this motherfucker. And here's the problem is, so they had issued a tornado watch, which, if you don't know, a tornado watch means the weather situation is optimal for a tornado to happen, you know. And the reason that tornadoes are also a big deal is because there's never one. There's like 5 or 7, you know. So a tornado watch means one could happen. That's what we were under. A tornado warning means I've seen one, someone saw one, holy shit, or like one's about to happen, get in your basement, right? But a tornado tornado watch just means there could be one, so get ready to have to take action. But so we were under a watch. This dude comes in and says, "There's a tornado coming," which was not true, and like freaked everybody out, you know. And so I told Margaret, I said, "We're gonna stay here, and the movie's gonna start again soon because everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna finish watching the movie, and then I'm gonna complain to the theater," which I haven't yet, but I kind of want to complain to them, like, dude, why freak people out? Like, learn your weather terms, you know. The reason I brought it up is because there's this Snake character in the bag, guys, and he has like this crazy kind of New York accent, and he's kind of a, it's a good voice, and you wonder who it is, and you get through the end of it, and it's Marc Maron. But the thing is it doesn't just sound like Marc Maron. It was Marc Maron actually doing like a voice, which I didn't.
What is this in? What movie?
The Bad Guys. It's like a talking animal movie for kids. It's like an animated movie.
Oh, okay.
But Marc Maron, like, when you see Marc Maron in a movie or in other voice work, it's Marc Maron. Right. But this was like
it is weird to see him in things.
Yeah.
Like, it's just weird to see him in movies. Like when I saw him in The Joker, I was like, "Fucking Mark is in the fucking Joker."
Right, because he was like
kind of like, what the fuck?
He was like nice to us and like a kind of a buddy to the whitest kids for a little bit there. And we would see him at things, and he would like say hi to us, and But also, he's just like doesn't see. Yeah, he doesn't have like a guy in a movie personality. He's like so.
I just don't think of him as like a movie guy.
Right,
though. What do I know?
But
he's in a lot of stuff.
Well, that's why it blew me away with this voice thing, because it doesn't even just sound like him. Like it's a performance. It's a voice performance. And after I found out it was him, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But it's not one where it's not like, you instantly pin it on him, So I don't remember why I thought about that. I just showed talk about good movies, and I just showed my daughter The Terminator. And the first Terminator... because I love Terminator 2. And I told Sam a month or two ago, I want to show my daughter Terminator 2, because Terminator 2, you talk about best action films of all time, that's way up on the list.
It's up there. It's definitely on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. And Sam was like, well, are you going to show her Terminator 2 or Terminator 1 first? I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of a scarier one. It's almost like a slasher with a robot.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah, it totally is. And Sam goes, yeah, but then the twist in T2 will be so much cooler. I was like, I forget that is a twist, because I saw that first. A lot of people our age saw it first. They
ruined it, dude. And Cameron was pissed that they ruined it in the trailer.
Because that twist. I mean, when you can see it as a twist, it's pretty great. So I'm very much looking forward to that when we get around to part 2, because she loved part 1. She's invested in Sarah Connor and stuff. So I'm like, oh man.
Let's do this. So let's say, how many presidents are on Mount Rushmore? 4 or 5?
4.
4. Okay. Yeah, right. You live in South Dakota. Okay. Fury Road. I'm putting on.
Action movie list?
Yeah, action movies on Mount Rushmore. I'll put Terminator 2 on that list.
Okay. John Woo's Hard Boiled, which has some of the most incredible gunfight set pieces you've ever seen in your life. And I mean, John Woo, I mean, if you're talking action movies and contributions to action cinema, he has to be there,
So you're putting Hard Boiled up there. You got one more. What do you put? Oh, by the way, do you agree Fury Road, Terminator 2?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. So we're on the same page on those.
Yeah, but, of a certain kind of action movie, because, I watch a ton of martial arts stuff, and that's a whole nother conversation, But with action, what I feel like what we're talking about is like action set pieces, lots of stuff happening, gunfights and explosions, and well choreographed. And
adrenaline, where adrenaline is the point.
Violence.
Yeah.
Now, for example, I would not put The Matrix up there. It's different. I think it's different than what we're talking about. But, I mean, The Matrix is one of the greatest action movies of all time and completely changed how films are made. But I don't know. I don't know if we're talking about the same kind of action movie. But, yeah, I think I would put The Matrix up there. What do you think?
I would go Fury Road, T2.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Kill Bill, and I would take 1 and 2 as the same movie.
Sure.
I don't know if that counts, but I would. And then for my last one, I think I'd do Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard.
Because it kind of spawned everything.
Well, because here's my scattered psyche, because like I feel like there's different
Face Off. There's a lot of Face Off.
Face Off, sure, but like here's the thing: it's like okay, so it kind of depends on what is your qualifications for best action movie? If you're talking about like sitting in a theater and seeing some shit you've never seen before. Terminator 2 and Fury Road, absolutely. The Matrix, definitely. I would say Hard Boiled. Die Hard's definitely up there. Face Off is good, but it doesn't do that. Face Off is like a fun action movie.
Good, but it's stupid and campy and like
it's not like a monument. And
also, you don't want to have 2 John Woo movies,
right? Yeah. Well, and I feel like There's probably some older stuff. I mean, because that's the thing is like I think about action movies all the time, and I watch a lot of them, but there's different kinds, and so like if you're gonna talk about like choreographed
Point Break.
huh?
Sorry, somebody said Point Break. Point Break is fucking great.
Point Break is great.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, but that's another one where it's like I don't know if that's what we're talking about, but
Yeah,
I
I don't
feel
think
like
I don't think it's one of the four.
I think like some of the later like middle period Shaw Brothers kung fu movies where they really had their shit figured out, like 8 Diagram Pull Fighter or 36 Chamber, but those are like a whole different thing, And I feel like if we're talking like big ballsy huge budget action movies, that's different, So yeah, well, I'd say Matrix Fury Road. Okay, what else did I say? T2.
T2.
Yeah, and Hardboiled. I think that sounds pretty good. We really
I don't know if I
lost.
saw Hardboiled. I saw The Killer in high school. I don't know if I saw Hardboiled.
Hardboiled has. I mean, the last like half an hour or maybe 45 minutes of that movie is like kind of one.
A lot of this and doves, right?
Sure,
a lot of birds
and
flying behind guys doing.
Yeah, and
guns
that's a
akimbo.
John Woo thing, but you like. The set pieces he's constructing, like there's a scene in Hardboiled where they're in the bad guys hide inside a hospital. Spoiler for a 32-year-old movie. But so the bad guys are hiding inside this hospital, and so the good guys realize that the door to the hideout is in the morgue. So Chow Yun-fat gets his buddy to lay on a stretcher with a blanket over him, the sheet over him, pushes him into the morgue. Well, then they get in there, and the bad guys realize, oh no, you're Chow Yun-fat, basically, And so he kicks the stretcher that his friend is on, and the stretcher, and the camera follows it. The stretcher spins around, twirls around across the floor, hits the desk where there's a bad guy with a gun at the desk. So the stretcher, the head of it, like the foot of the bed, hits the desk. The guy slides out backwards and kicks over himself to kick the guy in the face, and like that's one shot that they follow that. Like there's a bunch of stuff like that in it, you know what I mean? Like just incredible shit, like really good shots, and I love stuff like that. But like I feel like some of these other movies, well, so that's one too. But like you're talking about movies that changed how people like do things, like Terminator 2 changed how people make movies. The Matrix changed how people make movies. Fury Road didn't, because everyone's like, how the fuck did he do that?
Fury Road didn't, because everyone's like, we can't do that. Yeah, it's like that's impossible.
Yeah, I watch it all the time.
It's too incredible.
Yeah, the polecat scene. It's like, are you fucking out of your mind? How did this even happen?
Steven Soderbergh said. He said Fury Road. He says, I don't know how they're not still making that movie today. Like I don't know how they finished it.
Dude,
it's crazy.
I love Soderbergh. Like I don't watch a ton of Soderbergh movies, but he seems like the best dude. Like he just seems like an interesting guy and has a good view on movies.
Can I tell you about my Steven Soderbergh interactions?
No.
So right after we made Miss March,
oh no,
I joined the DGA, and I got invited through the DGA. For people who don't know, is the Directors Guild of America. So it's like the union for directors. And I got invited. This is when I was living in New York to what's called Feature Directors Night, and once a year they have a night where they just invite directors who have made feature films. And I went. Because I was like, fuck yeah, like, and it was hosted by like Martin Scorsese invites you to. So I was like, fuck yeah, I want to go.
Yeah.
So I showed up on time. Like it starts at 8. I'm there at 8, and it's like up in this fancy restaurant, like on top of something. And I show up, and I am like the first fucking guy there, except Steven Soderbergh. And I'm like, oh no. And I was like, what have I done? So I just like got a drink. I just went out on the balcony where he was. I was just like, hey man. And he was like, hi. And we like chatted for a while. He was like the coolest fucking guy. But I just made this movie that I was so ashamed of. Like Miss March was an unmitigated critical commercial failure, right?
Yeah.
It was bad.
And you already knew that at this time?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. And so everyone is asking, like, by the way, everyone's there. I sat at a table next to Nora Ephron and Jonathan Demme. So I like had dinner with Jonathan Demme and Nora Ephron. It was like crazy. And over there is like, Darren Aronofsky and Arthur Penn. Who, for people who don't know, he directed Bonnie and Clyde.
Right,
like,
legendary. Yeah.
And Scorsese's over there. And it was just like, David Wayne was there. I was just like, it was like, I was like, what am I doing here? I regretted it. As soon as I walked in the room, I was like, I don't belong here. Like, I'm a fucking fraud.
I did not know this happened. I think it's so fucking funny that you guys made Miss March and you got to go sit by
I'm
fucking
sitting with Jonathan Demme, and Jonathan Demme's like, so what did you make? And I'm like, I don't even want to tell you, like, nothing.
You should have just rolled with it and be like, I made Miss March. What did you make?
I know, right? Who are you?
Sounds to the lambs, you little bitch.
Maybe my favorite fucking scary movie ever.
Yeah,
like come on.
That's a great story. So, but Soderbergh seems chill.
He was super chill, and he was like, "So what do you?" I was like just about to move to LA at the time, and he's like giving me advice on where to look for. He was like a very cool fucking not like a dick, not a pretentious dick.
It's felt that way. He puts those lists out. I don't know if he still does it, but I know for a while he was putting out the lists where he writes down every book he reads, every TV show he watches, every movie he watches, and I think albums that he listens to too. And he puts out a list of all that stuff at the end of the year. And he's one of those guys, he doesn't have a certain kind of thing that he likes. He just watches everything. He reads everything. I just like it when someone who's considered a very important filmmaker, kind of that certain kind of genius that the Oscars jerk off all about all the time. I love it when someone like that is also like, yeah, man, I fucking love Jason movies. And he seems like a guy like that. So yeah. What is your horror movie Mount Rushmore? Since I feel like I'm getting into a mode where like you're a director of a movie because you are, and I'm Elvis Mitchell, maybe, yeah.
Well, I could talk about like my horror Mount Rushmore forever. Okay, but let's get a little bit more specific about it. Let's divide it pre and post 2000. How about that?
Okay.
Post 2000. I'm going to take 5. I'm not going to do 4. I'm going to take 5. I'm going to say Drag Me to Hell, Hereditary, Get Out, Saint Maud.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Okay.
Fucking amazing.
Okay.
Fucking amazing. And then I'm going to say like Paranormal Activity just because it's so fucking scary. I think that's it.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen a ton of newer horror movies. But, I mean, Get Out, obviously, I would say. Yeah, Hereditary, I would say The Witch. I love The Witch. I just love it. I love that, it's kind of a slow burn, but it also starts with a woman turning a baby into paste. So,
that is rad.
That is rad. I love that. I don't know. Newer horror movies. There's some that I've seen.
Hey, y'all seen Krampus? My dear friends made that movie. Krampus.
Oh, you know those? Who do you know that made Krampus?
Well, Mike Doherty directed it, and my buddies Zack and Todd, who I see almost every day out here, wrote it.
Oh, great. Okay. So you know Mike Doherty?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Krampus is what my daughter considers her first like real horror movie. We watched that, and she loved it. Fun. That's a great horror movie. It's so much fun.
Has she seen Trick or Treat?
No, I want to watch that. We should check that out when it gets to Halloween. Yeah, but that guy, Mike Doherty's one of those guys who it's like he's making fun movies, and that's cool. He has like a mischievous kind of joyful sense of horror. Sure. Like the ending of Krampus is fun.
I've been to his house. He has he's like one of those dudes that's like Halloween all year round. Yeah. And like in his bathroom, like he has Reagan from The Exorcist, like a full scale statue of her, like in the corner in the bathroom. So every time Anne goes in there the first time, it's like, Jesus, fuck! It's like, it's good.
Yeah, it's gotta be hard. Someone says never let her watch a Rob Zombie film. Listen, I've got that trilogy because I bought it cheap at a sale somewhere online, and I'm sure we'll watch House of a Thousand Corpses sometime because there is value to that movie. I enjoy House of a Thousand Corpses.
Explain that to me.
Huh? It's just okay. To me, it's ridiculous, but like I kind of like his style, or I don't know. I just like how Rob Zombie it is. Does that make sense? I don't know, but
to me, Rob Zombie is just like I want to like it. I want to because the covers I'm always intrigued by.
Right.
But like it just feels like a kid who hangs out at the mall.
Yeah, I know, kind of. I don't know.
Feels like Jack Skellington. It's just like
I get that.
See, Dad. It's like that. Anyway, Let me do pre-2000.
Pre-2000s, Zack's Horror Rushmore.
Texas Chainsaw,
Mm-hmm.
greatest horror movie ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Masterpiece, beyond transcends the genre. I think it's like an incredible miracle of a movie.
It's one of my favorite
worship
movies,
that movie.
period. I love
Me too.
that movie.
Texas Chainsaw, Blair Witch Project,
Okay, yeah.
fucking genius.
Mm-hmm.
I would go Audition. I don't know if you call it a horror, but it's just so great.
That's a blind spot for me. I need to rectify that.
Watch it. Maybe I love The Omen. The Omen is just so fun. I don't know. There's something great, but I don't know if it belongs on the list. The Exorcist. I do love me some Exorcist.
Everybody says Exorcist.
I know. It's good though. I mean, there's a reason.
Yeah, that's true.
The Shining and The Shining.
The Shining, sure. I would say Texas Chainsaw. I would do. Which one? I would say probably the OG Dracula is really fucking cool, and I would. Put
Which
that
one
up
are you
there.
talking about?
Bela Lugosi, like the original Universal Dracula. I would say, and I just whenever I realize I've sort of put myself on the spot here, but my memory gets so foggy when I feel any pressure. So Texas Chainsaw. I'd say that one. I'd say yeah, I suppose. I mean, I would say The Exorcist, but it is really good. You know what? I think the first Nightmare on Elm Street is fucking awesome. I would say I'd put that up there. And Halloween. I mean, Halloween, I can't.
I hear you. Those movies, those like 80s slasher, for whatever reason, I enjoy them, but they're not my thing.
Well, Halloween, I think, is the prototype of that. That and Texas Chainsaw, and maybe Black Christmas. But Halloween is like,
right, Black Christmas is the first one. Halloween.
Right, but Halloween
is the first real one.
Yeah, and Black Christmas is great. Black Christmas is really
it is great. Really great.
And you talk about not. I was talking earlier about how I don't like it when movies these days have to explain everything. I love that in Black Christmas you don't really know fucking anything.
The voice on the phone is so scary.
Oh, so good.
It's like wrong.
Yeah, dude,
it's like you listen to that and you're like, this is fucked.
It's fucking perverted. It's like it's bad. He's like really fucking with these women. And when they remade that twice, and the latest remake I didn't like at all. But the 2007 remake or something, they gave, of course, so now they did a whole backstory for the guy and all this stuff, but it's so fucking crazy, because it's like, there's inbreeding, and there's like, some kind of weird liver disease that turns him yellow, and all this other stuff in it to explain the bad guy from Black Christmas. So the remake is kind of fun that way. But yeah, I would say Halloween, and the thing is with things like Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one isn't like what people think it is. It's not what you think of as Freddy, like, hey bitch, it's not that Freddy. There's a few times in the series, obviously they delve into that because that's what people loved, but like the original idea to me of Freddy Krueger was a much more existential kind of cosmic horror thing. And even later on, there's a few, even in part 4, there's like lines where he's like, "You are all my children." That's a great line. Or like, "I am inevitable." That's what he says in the first one, I think. And I like that, like, because dreams are fucking scary. And there's the fact that your consciousness is doing these things when you're not engaged is scary, and Wes Craven based that on some guys in Vietnam dying from dreams, like some study or something. Yeah, so it's based on some real shit.
I didn't know that.
They made those two. They made it like a 7-hour documentary about the Elm Street series, and they did the same thing for Jason. But what's funny about the Elm Street documentaries is Wes Craven he was a fascinating guy. And he has a lot of interesting thoughts about Nightmare on Elm Street. And then they talk about the sequels, most of which he wasn't involved with. And he was like, yeah, and then they wanted him to be like in a video game, I guess. I don't know. Because it's like part 6 or something, he's like in a Game Boy or,
Yeah.
But that wasn't Freddy at first. Just like how the first Friday the 13th is not what you think it is,
Right.
Hockey Mask doesn't even show up till part 3, so.
Yeah. A lot of people throwing out Dream Warriors, which is... Nightmare on Elm Street 4, which I agree is great.
3, yeah. That's a fun one.
Is it 3?
Yeah, 3. 4 is Dream Master.
Oh, look at you.
And then 5 is Dream Child. That's where it starts to lose you. You know what's funny? And I guess you could say this is spoilers, but whatever. Fuck it. Okay, so Freddy, and then they ended up making more movies for both characters, so whatever. But Freddy's Dead, which is part 6, right? They make up this crazy ass. Here's another time I have problems with origins. In Freddy's Dead, they reveal he's part of some sort of dream. There's some sort of dream spirit or evil spirit possessing him. And at the end, when they kill him, it's like this wormy thing, and it like flies away and explodes when they finally kill him. And now Freddy's really dead, right? So in Jason 9, where Jason goes to hell, they're like, this is the last Jason movie. Jason ends up being some forever evil spirit, and there's like a worm thing inside of him, and I was like, what a weird fucking trend. And like,
are you kidding?
No, in the early 90s, it's like, what if all these iconic monsters were all controlled by worms? It's like,
this is interesting.
Yeah, isn't it weird? And it's two different.
I want to see those side by side. Do the worms look similar?
I don't remember, but let me look it up. But it's like.
Wow.
It is, yeah, dude. It's like, and I mean, both those movies are the worst of their series, probably, you know. But
have you seen Terrifier?
No, I've always wanted to. I've heard it's like way better than you'd think it would be.
It is. I'm excited to see Terrifier 2. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I'm
okay. So
for
here's the Dream Demons. Oh my God, you guys, this is going to be great. Okay. Okay, let's do another window for that one. Okay, what's the other one? Jason Goes to Hell.
I think the feed might be frozen.
Oh, yeah. It's from when you go away from... When you go away from Discord, it'll be okay in a second. Kids, if you can hear us, it'll be unfrozen in a second.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's because I put Discord up. If you like minimize Discord or spend too much time away from it, it gets all weird. Okay, Jason Goes to Hell worm. Okay. Where's a good shot of it? Oh, they call it Hell Baby. Okay.
Salamadamer says, I'm going diarrhea. Good job. Good job, buddy.
What does that mean?
It means he's going diarrhea. What do you mean, what does that mean?
Oh, they're going diarrhea, like they're having... Okay.
I actually have to 10-1, which means pee.
Yes.
So I'm going to run and do that really quick.
Okay. Let me see if I can... Okay, there we go. Incredible. I can't believe I'm actually looking this up. Yes, I can. What am I talking about? Okay. Oh my God. Hi, fans. Hortown, why would I call you fans? What am I, some fucking dork? Stream frozen, audio's on, and chat's moving, though. Yeah. It's just because I was away. We're doing this for Discord tonight, because I didn't have the Zoom thing, access to the Zoom thing that I normally do. The reason it froze is because I went away from the screen so I could look up some stupid shit. Yeah, what if we can hear that? Wait, are you saying... Lydia Petuni says, someone clip the audio from the last 5 minutes, see if you can hear Zack fart. That's a great idea, because he might be taking care of shitty pants right now. You know? I don't know. I'm trying to find...
Are we still frozen?
No, it's just it gets frozen now and then just because I was away from Discord to look at a different screen. Okay, so let me Okay. Is that not going to do it anymore? Oh, okay. I'm going to have to get rid of that. So let me bring up this window, but let me see if I can get them both together. I'm trying to. I can't find a good shot of the Jason Goes to Hell one, but there's like a thing. I
heard Jason Goes to Hell is terrible, which sucks because that sounds like the coolest movie ever. Like if there was a movie that just follows Jason through hell, like fighting hell, I'd be so stoked.
Can I tell you something though? That's why that movie sucks, because it is not that at all at any point in the movie.
Ever?
No, it ends with his soul going to hell. It ends with that, and then there's an after shot, of Freddy Krueger's hand reaching up and pulling his mask down into the ground.
Man, that's bullshit. Dude.
Yeah, dude, that's why it sucks, because it's like, yeah, they're like, hey, Jason goes to hell. Sweet, I want to see Jason kill Lucifer. But no, that's
what you need, dude. First of all, if I was producing Jason Go to Hell, I'd say Jason goes to hell on minute 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I want him in hell for 85% of this fucking movie.
Absolutely. Dude, okay.
Yeah.
There is benefit to the slow burn in movies, and in horror movies especially. However, for the 9th entry in your giant Knife Man movie, if you're going to call it Jason Goes to Hell, that's what you get to, just like when they made Doom and like no one shot a monster for like an hour, like the Doom movie with The Rock in it.
Bullshit.
Yeah, and what I've been saying this for years, but Doom, the movie should have started with The Rock. First of all, he was not the hero in the movie either. He should have been the hero because he looks like the Doom guy. So the Doom movie should have started with The Rock waking up, and he gets a phone call, and he's like, oh, I'll be right there. And then it's like a ship landing on Mars, and he gets out with a shotgun, and then that's,
It should be 40 minutes of first person.
Yeah, they had it for like 3 seconds, And,
yeah, it should be that for at least 20 minutes, legitimately 20 minutes.
So I'm going to start backing up my worm claims here. So here's Freddy.
Jason goes to the DMV. That would be fucking funny.
And he's trying. Oh, sorry, this is stupid. That what I just did. There's like a dumb blue box there for a second. Did the wrong thing. He's like trying to still scare people. He's like standing there fishing through his wallet, like. They're like, yeah, okay, buddy. We just need to see your birth certificate. Okay, here's the Freddy.
Digging through his wallet. He's just like, ah.
Right. They're just like, you can't, this is not how it works. Here's the, that's not a good shot. Let me open it up in a new tab.
I see it. Okay, so that's what the worm looks like.
That's Freddy's dead. Okay.
That's Freddy's worm. Okay.
Yeah, so when he dies, this shot is he explodes and these little things come out of him. Okay. So I can't find a good one of the Jason. Are we looking at it right now? Is it up?
I only see the Freddy worms.
Yeah. Let me change it because that's a different window. Okay, cool. And then we're probably freezing it. I know. I'm sorry. I had my aspirations went beyond my technical capability. Okay. So, well, I didn't have time to. I didn't have a lot of time before I knew. There's not a lot of time between when we started and when I knew I would be doing this. So, in my defense, okay. So here's the Jason one. So as you can see, the promotional material for the movie has this worm in his mask. See.
Oh, they look very similar.
Yeah, they do, right? And then there's a few parts of the movie, like you can see at this point, because he possesses different people. So there's like a horrible thing coming out of his mouth into another lady that he possesses. And then this is the hell baby. This is like the thing. Oops. This is the thing that like a worm comes out of him and becomes this thing. Like this. So, but like there is like a wormy aspect to it too. So to me, it was just it's just so similar to me that I was like, I can't believe these both happened.
Interesting.
But I feel like if they're gonna do it, I feel like they should have just done that with all of the big horror franchises, right? Like,
yeah.
Eventually, Ghostface is just like, yeah, it has like a huge stick. What do you think of the Scream movies? How do you like the Scream movies?
I like the first one a lot.
Mm-hmm. First one's beautiful.
I watched the most recent one and I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's all right. I feel like there's a way to do a horror revisit, reboot, whatever, and they didn't do it. Scream 1 and 2 are great, and then after that...
Two good? I don't think I've seen 2.
2's good because 2 is still... They're still on that juice. They're still on the same kind of fire they made the first one with, like, kind of making super meta and stuff where it's like a sequel, so there's, like, lots of commentary, both obvious and not, about sequels, It's cool. When I watched the first one again recently, I loved this, like, layered meta joke where, Jamie Kennedy's character is watching Halloween, and of course, in the scene, it's Jamie Lee Curtis's character getting stalked by Michael Myers. But in the movie, in Halloween, she's got a different name. But so he's laying there on the couch at this party saying, "Look out, Jamie, behind you," right? In the meantime, this Ghostface is behind his character about to attack him, right? But what's funny about that is that you could also be saying to that movie, "Look out, Jamie, behind you," because that actor's name is also Jamie. You know?
Good.
I love that.
That's fun.
I love little shit like that. But yeah, I think the first Scream movie is enough of a real horror movie without being like,
Yeah. I also love the use of that Nick Cave song, Red Right Hand, in the beginning. It's just like the best use of that song ever. So many movies do it, and they do it the best.
You know what? One other use of it I love is in Hellboy because he has a giant red right hand, and so they use it in the first Hellboy
I've never seen Hellboy. Is that good?
Margaret and I just watched him. It's Guillermo del Toro did the first two original ones. I haven't seen the newer one, but I like them. The second one gets a little too crazy, but the first one is a nice kind of tightish story with lots of weird stuff in it. But it's not, the second one, Guillermo del Toro he could do whatever he wanted, which just doesn't always work for him. He needs to have a little restraint,
Right. I loved Nightmare Alley. Loved it.
Oh, you told me that, and I haven't watched it yet. I really want to watch it.
Loved it.
Yeah, but the first Hellboy is cool, and Rod Perlman is just, I love Rod Perlman.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
So, I don't know.
Cool, man.
Well, we talked about horror movies a lot. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah, horror movies are great.
They are. I think I might watch one now.
This was a good self-suck.
Yeah, did you have fun?
Yeah, big time. It was awesome.
Me too, man. I really did.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I gotta watch. Someone mentioned this, and it's always a fun one to talk about. Castle Freak, and I don't know if they're talking about the original or not. I haven't seen the remake.
Didn't care for it. Great title though.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing title.
Not a huge fan of it. The nipple eating scene.
I don't know if I made it that far.
Oh, you want to talk about puking up worms? I watched the first Puppet Master, and I always forget there's a puppet in that just like barfs up leeches onto this guy, and that's how he dies. Great fucking scene. Anyways, saw the North?
Some donos real quick.
Yeah, do for it.
Sloppy Head in the Subaru says, Zach, if you haven't watched Bad Lieutenant Port of Call New Orleans, Werner Herzog directed gritty crime film starring crack-smoking hallucinatory hunchback Nick Cage, as good as you've ever seen him. I agree. Love that movie.
Love that movie.
Very good movie. Mm-hmm. Getting High with Dinosaurs donated, said, Zach, when you become the next Robert Eggers, will you still hang out with us? Of course I will. Hyphen Podmoose in the City says, not me blushing furiously when you said I'm one of your faves. Oh. Paranormal Activity? Everything else on your list is so much scarier. It was a movie of doors opening and closing by themselves. Like, I saw Paranormal Activity in the theater. I was fucking scared.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It got me.
Found footage can work.
Definitely.
Found footage. There's a great one called Grave Encounters, I think. And there's not a lot. It's not a wonderful movie, but there's a lot of good shit. And there's a scene, and it's a found footage thing where these guys making a paranormal show go into this creepy asylum and spend the night, So there's a scene after they've started freaking out and realizing something's going on. There's a scene where they try and catch a couple hours of sleep, so the camera goes dark, it comes back on. They all have medical bracelets on that they did not have when they went to sleep. And that's great, like they all look up, they're like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? And it's because it's because the ghost asylum is like taking them into its, they're going to become its patients forever, So yeah, and I mean, that's a great scare that probably cost $6, So love it. So
he says, are you scared of ghosts? No. Ghosts aren't real.
Zach's scared of shitting his pants with not enough time to clean up before his wife gets home.
That's scarier to me than ghosts.
You want to make a horror movie? Yeah, try that. Try that, James Wan.
Session 9's good. That was moody.
Which one? Oh, Session 9's great. 9. Yeah, that's a good one. Very good one.
Yeah, that's good.
That's on my show.
David Carradine. Or no, is it David Caruso?
David Caruso.
That redhead guy's name? David Carradine. David Caruso. He's great in that.
Yeah.
He's a really good actor.
He's a really good actor. People do the sunglasses thing, but they forget that guy. I mean,
he can act.
Yeah, before he became the CSI Miami thing, he had already been one of the most respected dramatic actors on TV with NYPD Blue. I mean, people love him. So, yeah, he's great.
The Ring. I haven't seen The Ring since it came out. I should watch that again.
I've seen the Naomi Watts one. I haven't seen the Japanese ones.
Yeah.
Someone says was disappointed in the lack of sexy scenes in Paranormal Activity.
Fair.
You know what? One last quick movie anecdote for me. So, I've been showing my daughter like R-rated, cool action movies, and some people, as a parent, you're like, well, I don't want to ruin their childhood either, But so when I let her pick movies, it's still totally kid movies, and so right before I started, huh?
How old is she?
She'll be 11 pretty soon, so
Okay.
she's fine. But so,
She's 10,
yeah. But so she picked out the movie this evening while we were eating dinner before I started, and it was the new Cheaper by the Dozen on Disney Plus with Zach Braff. So yeah, Ron Funches is in it for like a hot second at the end, and almost like at the end he just comes in and he's just so funny. It's like, okay, well I'm glad I watched this, But it's
wait, who comes in at the end?
Ron Funches.
Oh, Ron Funches.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a couple other good funny people in it, but yeah, and Zach Braff is funny when he wants to be, So. But it was just one of those things where it's like, that's such a kid movie for a movie for a kid to pick out. You know what I mean? It's just like, she's like, can we watch this? I'm like, yeah. So I'm still acting. Anyways, no, it's a good movie. Yeah, there is a new Cheaper by the Dozen. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is, are we done? Next time, Mount Rushmore comedies. Yeah, I don't know. I'll say Fargo, and then we'll get into a whole thing.
Fun. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Hey, buddy, this ruled.
Yeah, thank you, man. I'm glad we did it.
Me too.
I almost didn't do it tonight because I was just been busy, but I'm glad we talked me into it. So.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, buddy.
All right,
Talk
see you later, man.
I'll see you in like 2 weeks.
Huh?
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, absolutely, pal. See you later.
All right. Everybody, thank you, guys.
Say goodnight,
Good to see
Zach.
y'all.
Say goodnight
So
to
long,
Zach.
Gallagher.
Oh.
Peace.
Bye-bye.